I'm back with a live stream here at the NPA Convention Pawn Expo. And with me, I'm super excited because I have Kerry, who is the new president of the NPA.
That's what they tell me.
That's what they told you last night, right?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
I think it takes some cojones, as people say, to step up to a leadership role, to take on the pawn nations, regulations and laws, and looking out for us. So thank you so much.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. I was really honored and to be able to do this. It
Awesome.
Wasn't something I expected to do, and it's really not something you first, when you start out, that's not what you're striving to do.
Yeah.
But there comes a time that you need to step up.
Love that.
Basically, that's what I had to do.
Step up and lead. That's what I said.
Step up and lead, right.
Awesome. So for those of you who are watching, Susan says congrats. If you guys have a question for Kerry, go ahead and ask it while we're going on. I'll go ahead and check the screen. But Kerry, first question.
Yeah.
When did you get into the pawn industry? When and why?
When and why?
Yeah. Why do we do this?
I do it because I love it.
Awesome.
Actually, my dad was working for the railroad for 30 years. And I grew up underneath the table at gun shows and knife shows and watch shows.
Okay.
On the weekends, that's what we did. I always went there, and so I grew up buying and selling at those shows all the time. When he got out of the railroad business, he's like, I'm going to the pawn business. So he opened up a pawn shop, and at that time I was going to college. Our jeweler at the time quit.
Okay.
And my dad looked at me and said, well, we need a jeweler. And I said, well, if he can do it, I can do it. So we hired some people, trained me as a jeweler.
As a bench jeweler?
As a bench jeweler.
Oh, wow. Okay, nice.
So, of course, I learned repair work, and then learned casting and carving waxes. We do it all. Started out doing that while I was going to college. And when it was time for me to get out of college, my dad said, well, what are you going to do? I said, I'm going to open a pawn shop. So he helped me, and we opened up another store, and that's how I got into it. Married
Awesome.
my wife at the time, met her through the pawn shop.
Okay.
So I always say that her dad came and pawned her off to me and never came back to redeem her. And
he forfeited her to you.
Right. Best pawn ever did.
You called, you texted, you said. So great.
Yeah, that's how I got into it. I mean, through a second generation pawnbroker. Said my dad always was buying and selling. My grandfather along with them. They were always pawnbrokers. They just didn't have a license for it.
So it's just in the blood.
So it's just in the blood. Right?
Awesome. Very, very cool. So what's the expectation moving forward? I mean, obviously you've got your stores.
Right.
You're a busy man with that. You're the new president of the NPA. What's the goal? I mean, those of you who are watching who are not here at the expo, I think you're missing out. I'm going to say that on every single live.
Yep.
You're missing out. You're missing out. You're missing out. I had the pleasure of speaking here 2 years ago. What's the future look like for the NPA? What's the want for you as a president? For pawnbrokers listening, what do you want them to know?
For the NPA, I mean, the future is always about growth. The more members that we have, the stronger that we can be. The more presence that we have, the more protection that we can give. So the future is just continuing to try to grow the association, grow its members, give them more things that will make it worthwhile for them to join.
Yeah.
And in doing that, of course, then we can protect them better.
Yeah.
And of course, that's what the NPA has been doing for all these years. Our government relations committee is fantastic in what they do and to protect us. And that has really made the NPA stronger. And then what most people miss out by, especially not being here, is they miss out on all the networking.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's really crazy. Sorry to interrupt you. Most of the stuff that my brother and I learned and how we grew a successful pawn shop was sitting and getting coffee with a pawnbroker, right, grabbing a drink at night, going to dinner, if there's a box lunch or whatever, the beautiful lunches you guys are serving here, and just sitting and talking and sharing.
Exactly. I don't know if you listened to my speech yesterday.
Yeah, that was it.
And, I made comments about, discussing me learning by discussing my business at the bar, meeting the pawnbrokers at the bar just over drinks, and then, going to dinner with the pawnbrokers and, going to meetings with them and getting on committees. That's what helped me to grow from, my single little small pawn shop and to, having multiple stores and being where I am now.
How many stores do you have?
I've had 4, sold 1. I'm down to 3, but I'm opening another one up now. We've got some other ones planned. So,
nice.
Yeah.
So growing.
So growing, right.
Nice. So you're going to be busy growing stores, busy with the NPA,
yep,
but I'm sure you've got your processes in place where people are helping out.
And thank goodness I've got 2 sons. I've got 3 sons that work in my stores.
Oh,
2 of
amazing.
them want to stay in the business, and the 2 that are staying in the business are the ones that want to continue to grow.
So tell them, how did you convince them to stay in? Like, if you don't stay in, because a lot of people have kids who don't want to be in the business.
Right. And I've got one that doesn't want to be in the business. And I'm very proud of him. He's taking his master's in architecture.
Nice.
I'm just as proud of him as I am the ones who want to stay in the business. It's
so
one of those things.
You can design your stores.
That's exactly. And that's what the new store I'm working on. That's the first thing I was looking at. Hey, you gotta design this for me. So I mean, he'll still be in the business. Just be designing the next stores.
Yeah, for sure.
But no, there's no magical thing. It's either you love it or you hate it.
Yeah.
Either it's in your blood or it's not.
Yeah, for sure.
There's no way to tell them and convince them to stay in.
Like me, I got out, then I was dragged right back in.
Right.
With pleasure. Kerry, thank you so much for being on. I know you're busy. You've got to go around and say hi to everybody now, but thank you for being on. And for those of you,
thanks for what you do.
No, my pleasure. For those of you who want to check out, go to pawnexpo.com or nationalpawnbrokers.org. Also, listen to the podcast, because I'm going to have Kerry on in a couple of months to kind of talk about the state of what's happening, what laws are being enacted, what we're fighting for, what we're protecting ourselves against, so that you guys know what's happening in the federal.
And hopefully they'll come to the next expo and pledge conference and get educated.
Thank you so much, Kerry.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank
Stay tuned for more live. Hold on. I want to say hi to whoever's watching really quick. So Susan says, any major changes in federal laws in the near future because of one that we are fighting? That's the question she asked, and we can have her reach out to you if you want to say something on that.
Yeah, she's welcome to reach out on me through my email. She can look up on the NPA site and get my email. Nothing that's major as of right now. We're still watching the 36% rate caps. We're still fighting for bank discontinuance. Those are the main things that we're watching for.
Awesome. Great. Dallas, I'll go to see you. He says, congratulations.
Thank you.
Dallas is a great guy.
Yes, he is.
James is on. Anastasia. Beautiful. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, guys. Stay tuned for more.